video will attempt to run through the process of how to assess an Activate course. So what we need to do is log on to the course as a trainer. Okay, and then choose the course that you want to assess. Let's go back to this course we were using earlier. Okay, once you've chosen the course, I'm just going to delete this manual for a moment. Okay, go to students. Okay, and what we can do is we can assess the course, but as you can see in red, we can't assess the course until you've listed the manual. Okay, we're pretty keen that everyone uses a professional produced manual. The manual of choice for us is the Safety Publishing Limited manual. They do a really good range. QualSafe we're trying to go away from, so hopefully now nobody's using QualSafe, but Safety Publisher. If you have another manual, please let me know and we'll try and put it on the list, and when you sign off the course at the end you can make a note that this is the manual you used. It'd be good if you could let us know so we can keep a record. And the idea of using a manual is that, not your own manual but someone else's manual, is that if there's any question on the content of the course, you can say, well, here's the manual that we used, it's a recognised manual. If anyone sort of queries that you didn't cover how to put a sticky plaster on a knee, we can say, well, here's the manual we used, it's all in the manual. So it's really to cover your own backside, why we want you to use somebody else's professionally produced manual. Okay, I like the Safety Publishing Limited manual, Dave Olley's, because I really liked his approach to first aid, and I think most people are now using it. But anyway, how to assess the course is, hold on, we need to select the manual, so Safety Publishing Manual, attach course document. Okay, and then go to students, and we now should be able to do it. What we can do is assess this course and everyone can pass, or we can say pass but not paid. That basically means that at the end of the course they can get sent a username and email. They can be asked to log on and fill in an evaluation form, but they will not be able to download a copy of their a PDF copy of their certificate until you have clicked the pass rather than pass not paid. Attendance, someone who didn't pass the course but has attendance, same thing, attendance not paid. None failed the course, unknown. So a few different options there. Okay, but what we're going to do here is just assess the course. Give it a few seconds and everybody's passed. Okay, and we can go in and change the status of Bob Cunningham. So we can go down and change an individual one. But anyway, what we've got here is a list, and this ties in with the observation sheet which you can print off. And it's got all the learning outcomes, the ones that you've observed, etc. So it's a nice little list. You can, on the observation sheet, add a few extra things into these columns here. Okay, the date here, this will allow you to add an extra up to an extra 3 months onto anyone's certificate. For example, if somebody renews their course 3 months in advance before their certificate expiry date, then we will not penalise them, but we'll add that extra time onto their next certificate. You can manually add in the dates here, but it's so much easier if you can actually, before you assess the course, you can actually add in the certificate date here. Okay, in this box here, and then it will all get done automatically. Anyway, back to the list of students. Once we've done this here, we can print off the certificates, and you can do this before the end of the course. On a 2-day course, I tend to do this on the first night, and then on the second day, at the end of the course, I can hand out the certificates for people to go home with. If somebody doesn't attend the second day, I can shred their certificate, and then I can come home and I can change the status of their course to failed course, then after 6 o'clock, if they have their username, they will not be able to download a copy of their certificate. So we have a few options there. Got a little bit of a delay. Computer seems to be freezing itself. Let's just try and refresh and see what's happening. Okay, what we can do now is we can print off the certificates. Usually takes about 30 seconds to download a copy of the relevant certificates, and here we go. So we just get a PDF copy of the certificate, that's the front page, and then we've got the back page. Okay, these are the learning outcomes, your signature, the date, the time, duration, etc. On the front page we have the course title, date, your signature, when the certificate is valid from, when it expires, the location, all the general stuff, your logo, your name, and then depending on who approves the course, the logo is here. A new thing we have at the back here is please see the back of the certificate for a list of the learning outcomes covered. To check that the certificate is valid, scan the QR code or visit the URL on the back. So on the back here we have a URL, and that will take you to a page on the database with all this details. So if we just were to copy that, we'll see what happens when we do this. Let's open up a new tab. We'll type that URL in. It's taken a while, but yes, here we go. So this brings you onto a page onto the database, which basically has all the information on the certificate, the number, the status, whether the person passed or not, the name of the student, the date it's valid to and from, the company who issued it, and the course details. So a very quick way for people to validate their course. Okay, and oh dear, where we? And that's from this URL or the QR code if you have a QR reader. Okay, all we need to do then is check through these here. So we've got all the relevant things, and then what I tend to do is I tend to save this. I don't tend to print it from the browser, but I tend to save it, so I pressed the wrong button there. So I don't tend to print it from the browser, but I tend to save it onto the desktop or into a folder, and then I tend to print it from Adobe PageMaker or Adobe Reader. Let's save it onto the desktop, and I find my printer manages this a lot better if I then print it from Adobe Reader, which we have here. And for some reason it isn't opening. There we go. I tend to print it double-sided. I tend to flip on the short side. I duplex print on my printer, and I just set it up and press print, and off it goes. Unfortunately on my Mac it doesn't do double-sided printing, so I tend to do it on another printer. But anyway, off we go. So that's how to assess a course and print the certificates. Let's go back. Not sure if there's anything